Christ figure is common terminology in the creative writing departments of even the most staunchly secular universities because of the irresistible beauty of the Christian redemption story. Beauty with one major blemish: blood. Christianity is unapologetically bloody. Old Testament war, a temple sacrificial system, Jesus' cross, and all the early church reflection on Jesus' blood in the New Testament letters, it reads like the beauty of a Virginia Woolf novel and the violence of a Tarantino flick rolled into one. We remember Jesus by drinking his blood. We sing hymns like, "What can wash away my sins?" Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Don't think too hard about that metaphor, or you'll picture yourself in the climactic scene of an Edgar Allan Poe horror story. When Hank, our oldest son, was born, Kirsten lost a lot of blood during delivery. So the excitement of greeting our son upon his arrival into the world was immediately replaced by the fear that runs over you when a medical team is rushing and speaking in jargon you don't understand, except you know it's not good. Well, what's going on? Just hold the baby, Dad. Congratulations, but we got to get Mom some help right now. Over the next 24 hours, Kay received liters of blood. I later learned that she would have died without them. To that point in my life, blood had only gotten my attention when I was losing it. A nosebleed, a skinned knee, a slip of the knife when I was chopping vegetables, but in that hospital, holding my son, talking to his miraculously recovering happy mom, I saw the power blood holds when it is given. Power to sustain life where death was unavoidable. Medically speaking, blood signifies life, not death. Blood feeds and sustains every cell in the body, and biblically speaking, blood signifies life, not death. So maybe the Bible isn't a grotesque, outdated, barbaric religious tale that unfortunately includes bloodshed. Maybe it's a medically sophisticated, highly intellectual story about the necessity of blood to give and sustain life. We who only pay attention to blood when we're losing it tend to emphasize the blood Jesus lost, the shed blood of Jesus. The Bible, on the other hand, seems to emphasize the blood Jesus gave, the shared blood of Jesus. And that's an important distinction because medically speaking, shed blood takes life, but shared blood saves it. Dr. Paul Brand, a surgeon and physician, moved to the Indian village of Vellore after medical school in London. And then Vellore became the site of a measles epidemic. One of his own daughters came down with a severe infection, and he knew that she could recover, but their infant daughter, Estelle, was much more vulnerable because of her age. So word got around the village that the Brands needed the blood of an overcomer, meaning their baby daughter needed the blood of someone who had contracted the measles and beaten the disease, blood with hard-won immunity. They found a person, drew blood, and donated it to Estelle, who, with the borrowed antibodies, successfully fought off the disease. She overcame measles not on her own, but as the result of a battle that had taken place previously in someone else. A person's blood becomes more potent as that person prevails against an enemy. Flannery O'Connor coined the term wise blood for this phenomenon, because it's a young person borrowing life from someone who has endured suffering and won wisdom. Hebrews chapter 4. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way just as we are, yet he did not sin. Wise blood, borrowing life from someone who has endured suffering and won wisdom. The blood of an overcomer. Drink from it, all of you, the rabbi insisted, passing wine around the night before his crucifixion. Jesus didn't pour out his blood. He poured in his blood, in to everyone humble or desperate enough to admit that they had contracted something terminal. Drink from it, all of you. That's Jesus for. This glass holds my life, which was lived for you, and now by the cross you're about to watch me carry, is shared with you. I was tired, frustrated, tempted, and abandoned, and overcame. Tomorrow you will find yourselves tired, frustrated, tempted, and abandoned, and unable to overcome. So drink up. You can have my strength and share my spirit. I have overcome the world for you. Take my life into your body, my blood into your veins. Surely a Friday like this one can only be called good because Jesus wasn't killed tragically. He gave up his life willfully. Surely a Friday like this one can only be called good because God didn't stop at the distance of beauty, but came close enough to tell a bloody story. Surely a Friday like this one can only be called good because Jesus didn't shed blood. He shared it.